Hi everyone, welcome to The Grind. This is a weekly episode where we talk about the sermon that we heard this past weekend, which so happened to be preached. Is that, yep, by, yeah, it's me. It was me. It was my turn this time. And today I am joined by Rico and Lexine.
Hello.
So we're glad to do this together. We're gonna break down the sermon. You guys feel free to, break down my sermon as you will. But to start off today's discussion, I decided to kickstart this topic, this conversation with this question. Describe a significant encounter that you've had with someone. So I was on a mission trip in Tokyo actually, and we had a day off, and so so my friends decided to go on a coffee crawl, and at that time I wasn't really into coffee then. And but I was like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't want to hang out by myself. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with you guys to do this coffee crawl. And it was a very significant experience for me because that just opened my door to the beauty of coffee. And how awesome it is for my soul. And how coffee is more than just a black, dark, bitter drink. So
yeah, I can't imagine you without coffee.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? And then there was this couple from the States, and they overheard this coffee crawl. They're like, you guys had a coffee crawl? And we were like, yeah. I was like, oh, can we join you? We're like, why not,
Random people?
Yeah, it was just this
Oh.
random people. So it turns out that they were from Utah. And they were looking to meet Christians. Because in Utah, there was like no Christians, right? Or it was all Mormons, I guess.
Yeah, right,
so
they're
it was
all
just refreshing for them to meet Christians, I guess. And they were just like, wow, okay, cool. And so we just hung out with them. So it's pretty cool. Now, like I said, right, Moses is bringing the people and they're about to have an encounter with God. And so he's about to just set it up for the Israelites to come and, they're about to meet God. So I guess the question would be, what does an encounter with God look like for you?
What do you think, Pastor Petrina?
Oh, what do I think?
I'm just
Oh.
doing what Nathan usually does. Passing it to me.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think it's a great question to start the discussion with, Lexine.
I think for me, an encounter with God, what would it look like? Mostly how, experiencing Him personally. I think for me, I'm somebody who likes to notice the little things in life. And so whenever I see the little things that make me happy, I know that God is speaking to me in that way. Like only God would know that this is something that brings me joy, or that brings me comfort. And then
awesome.
all of a sudden it comes into my line of sight, or it comes into fruition in my life. Then I know okay, God is definitely trying to meet me where I'm at in the ways that only I can, that are personal to me.
Oh, that's nice.
That's cool.
I think for me, usually, it would be more of when I'm listening to music. So a lot of the times what I do is I would just put a very random playlist of just instrumental music and a lot of pads and stuff. And then there are times when the worship and especially the lyrics would just speak to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sometimes you would just sing and then you're
Yeah.
just singing, or maybe I would do a lot of what
Yeah.
do you call this? Air drumming.
Yeah.
Air
or
drumming.
guitars, which is weird when you're
On
in
the
ferry.
MTR? On the ferry? Oh yeah, on the ferry.
There are experiences where suddenly I would just have goosebumps
Yeah.
in the bus. Maybe it's the aircon, I don't know. But
Ha!
yeah, but in general, yeah, I would have those experiences, and those are really good experiences.
Yeah. I think one of the ways that I encounter God actually is through nature. Actually, ironically, mountains.
Not Sinai.
No, not Sinai. Not Sinai. Maybe one day when I get there, climb that mountain. But yes, God.
Ask permission though.
Can I come up? But yeah, I think mountains, because I remember just flying over mountains, seeing mountains. They're the ones that just take my breath away. But wow, God, you're just so good. This is so beautiful. Only you could have created this. Those are just some moments where I've encountered God, but also definitely through worship as well, just putting on a Spotify list of music. And recently I'm trying to encounter God through prayer. I'm trying to increase the relational aspect of prayer, kind of just creating that space to really talk with God, to encounter God, to even have that space for Him to speak into my life.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So yeah, so like I said, right, Moses, he's bringing people, they're setting them up to encounter God. And so, like, basically God's, like, Moses, like, the mediator, like, okay, this is what the people said. And then, like, this is what God said, this is what the people said, this is what God said. And God's like, you know what? I'm going to come down the mountain and I'm going to speak to my people so that everyone will believe you, that I'm not, like, you're not, like, just this crazy man, like, making things up, So, has there been moments in your life where God has showed up to show how real he is?
I think I've been talking about this story so many times, but one of
story.
the
I don't even know what he's going to share, but it's a good story.
That's a good story,
one
yeah.
of the ones that I've always
it's good.
I don't forget. Guys, come on. Is the moment when I was really stuck with the decision where should I go from here in terms of like my career and stuff like that. And then there was one time when the Lord just clearly spoke to me and said like, okay, I think this is the time when you should really consider what I'm telling you. And that's the first step where I decided to go into worship leading, that one. So that one for me is probably the biggest decision I ever made, and the decision that the Lord kind of like spoke to me and told me like that I should really follow him. If not, I'm gonna be stuck here forever. Something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lexine?
I think for me, it's in youth back at River, there was a time where I was like very questioning, just very confused. And one Friday night, I like went into River and I was like, God, if you really love me, if you're real and you care, let one person speak to me, just talk to me. And then it was in that moment Petrina was leading a prophecy activation workshop, and so it's a prophecy activation where
I think you found your significant person, Petrina.
Oh, no, I've met Petrina before. But in that moment, I was like really questioning.
It's about God. It's not about me. It's God. I'm just a mediator.
She was a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. Oh, okay.
The Moses in the Mount Sinai.
She was
coming down.
Yeah. But we were doing an activation where in the circle, it's a kind of like duck duck goose. Is that what you would say? Like,
sure. Let's go with that.
I guess you can say like where everyone has to close their eyes, and then Petrina would tap one person secretly. It's like, okay, if you get tapped, that means you're going to be the person everyone's going to prophesy over, or people are going to prophesy over,
and no one knows.
But they won't know that it's you. And so, lo and behold, after I said that, we were in the circle, and then I got instantly tapped. And I was like, okay, God, let me hear what you got to say to me then. And after that, I asked. For me, like, this is a significant moment in my life because I said, God, give me one person, but then it was like 11. So I keep getting like roasted for it. I said it's doubled because if you look at it, 1 and 1, it looks like, right? It's technically doubled, like in a clever way. And then for me, that's what I love about being clever. I love like those little punny or whatever moments. And for me, that was very significant because I asked God for 1, but he gave me like 11, which is like, in a sense, doubled. Yeah.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
God does have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I was going through some stuff and just really thinking about different things. And then this was at RAMP, Rochelle's our youth camp. One of our kids came up to me. She's 16, and she said that she had a dream with me. And she's like, I don't know, this is weird, but I just wanted to tell you that this dream. I was like, okay, well, let's hear it. And then this dream was basically it really felt from God because it was just something that I was going through, and God was speaking to me through this kid's dream, where this kid didn't know what was going on in my life, and she just released this dream, and it really just encouraged me that God was looking out for me. So that was quite an encounter with God, I would say. Yeah. The question would be, to wrap up this discussion, is what are some things that that you feel like you want to do to draw near to God in this season?
Like a proactive.
Yeah, a proactive step. And for all you who are joining us, feel free to share in the chat some ways that you're also drawing near to God, because that will also give us ideas as well.
I think for me, one lately that I've been more proactive in doing is trying to compose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm just waiting for that time for the Lord to kind of show me what He wants to. But of course, I need to be open. Like, okay, so Lord, what do you want me to say? What is those words that you've been meaning to share to me and the people that you want to hear that song?
I think for me, something similar. Not composing or anything, but more of taking chances in worship, because it's easy to, when you lead worship, it's easy to be in that mindset of like perfection.
Right.
I guess.
Yes.
So I think for me, especially in this season, what I really wanted to focus on was it's okay to like make a fool out of myself and allow, especially like for spontaneous, because Josh actually, he's always encouraging me to try to take on spontaneous, but I would never do it. I'll be like, can you just do it? you can fill that space.
You can hear from the Lord.
You can hear from the Lord.
You can encounter God, and then you
He's
can
got
lead
it.
people.
He's got it.
You got it.
It's like, you got it, Josh. But for me, I'm trying to take more ownership of hearing from God in that moment and just letting it flow.
Yeah.
Even if I like feel like I'm messing up or I feel like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think, like definitely making room for God to move. Like just like, okay, God, I will leave this space for you. I'll make this space for you to like just come and like, do what you want. But if you come, it's okay. It's great. If not, it's okay too. As long as I did my job to
Make room.
Make room.
Yeah, that's good.
You've grown so much as a worship leader.
Yeah.
It's definitely seen that. So I'm blessed when you lead worship. Yeah, it's
Very
just
nice.
so hard.
So we're in a time of encouragement.
Yeah, I think for me, like I said, I want to increase the relational aspect of my prayer life, to create space, for the Lord to speak to my life, and also to really wake up early to meet with God as well. Like sometimes, like I leave it to the night. So I'm a night person, but I just want to also be able to start my day as well. So even when I wake up in the morning, I'm already praying declarative prayers like today, Lord, show me what you have for me. I want to be more aware of your presence than anything in my life, not what people are doing, but what you're doing. And so kind of just like starting each day, be like, you know what, God, starting each day being excited for encounter with God and just declaring that. So so hopefully, God will meet us wherever we're at, and we'll have powerful encounters, whether it be on, through our music, through our preaching, and through even this segment that maybe, for some of you joined today, that maybe you might have an encounter with God right now. All right, well, that about wraps us our time. Thank you so much for joining us again. Let us know any comments, questions, chat, and feedback. Yep. Good. All right. Yes. It's the grind. It's the grind. All right, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.